Hello all. Today we will be solving an interesting SQL problem. Uh, so this is a very good SQL problem. So let's start. So we have uh, the data with us. So I have created the table before, just to save the time. And let's execute that select statement and see how the data is looking like and what we need from the data. So if you look at the data, basically we have almost 22 records, and I have taken only one item here. So what we need to do here is basically we need to group that data in a way that whenever there is you know a non-null value is coming, till that point we need to group the data. So let's say for chair, the first 1 to 5 we have discount null, right? So this will be grouped as because there is a non-null value after that. And whenever, if you look at the eighth record, there is a non-null value at in the discount field, and after that there is a null value. So these three will be grouped together. Again, at row number 11 we have a null value, and row number 12 we have a non-null value. So this three will be grouped together, and this two will be grouped together. So in that way, we need to find out all the groupings, and we need to find out for each, for that item, what is the start date and end date, and what is the discount and the total revenue for that period. Okay, so how we are going to solve this question? So basically, what we need to do, just think for a moment, then we can start that. So let's say what we are going to do is we will select the item. So this is the item, so I'm just selecting all the column that we have. Okay, and discount. So these are the columns that we are selecting, and what I'm going to do is we are going to replace the null values with 0 and the non-null values with 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm write a case statement, case when uh, discount, okay, discount is null, then 0, else 1, end as check. So I'm just creating a check column and to replace the null values. You can do it in another way too, but I'm using a case statement here. So if I execute that code, so I'll be getting a check column, then the null values will be replaced with 0. Okay. So now I'm going to create a row number. So the row number will be like row number over over. So let's think about, we have only one item, we can have multiple items too. So that's why I'm using a partition by item. Okay, and order by date. So we have created a sequence, and I'm giving a name as sequence underscore one. So if I run this, then we can see that a sequence has been created, right? Now the next step would be we are going to create another row number. Okay, so that row number will be based on this check column and the item column. Okay, so how we are going to do that is, let's say row number over partition by, okay, item comma with this case when statement, because we are going to create the sequence based on the item column and the check column. So there will be another sequence for check column 0 and the check value 0 and check value 1, right? So how it would be like, so I'm just pasting this because these will be my group by column, and we will be same as we'll be giving the order by column as date. Okay, now I'm giving it a sequence too. Okay, now if I run this, basically what we'll be getting is we'll be getting a sequence 2 that will be based on the check values. So this basically, this, if you look at this, for item and check 0 we are creating a sequence 1 to 13, and for item 1 and item, sorry, for item chair and sequence check 1 we are creating a sequence which is nothing but 1 to 9. Okay, now till that point I hope everything is clear. Now we'll be going so what we are going to achieve here is we will just subtract this to sequence and sequence to value. So how can we do that is basically copy this and subtract this with this value, the entire value. So basically what we are trying to achieve here is we are trying to group it, we are trying to create a group in between. So that's why we can calculate the number of days and the discounts and the sum of revenue for all the nulls, then that will be followed by another non-null value. So we're trying to create a group in between. So if I'm giving a diff here, so let's run the code. So if I run the code, so you can see that there is a diff column which is created. Now you can see very well that particular this chair and this discount, we are getting a diff. So this is, so we are trying to generate a sequence, or you can say a value which can segregate this null with another groups. Basically, let's see that. I'm putting order by date. Now if I run this code, so you can see that this particular, I told you, right, so this nulls will be in a different group because there will be a non-null value followed by, so there is a null value and there will be a non-null value. So this values will be this group, there will be a new group for this basically, and then this will be a new group because there is a null value. Okay, and there will be again a non-null value. So in that way, so we have created the difference column. Now what we are going to achieve here is now is basically, let's do this. So now till that point I think everything is clear. Now we will be creating, so let's put this into a CTE. So I'm giving a name as prepared data as, and okay, so we have created the CTE just to ease the process, just to make you understand it better. Now we have created the CTE. The next step would be just to take the required columns and the required the data that we are looking for. So what we need is select item. Okay, so we need now for this item and date for the sequence for the difference we have created, right? So for that item and the difference and the discount, we need the minimum ID, sorry, minimum date and the maximum date. So we need minimum date, right, as, let's say I'm putting a start date, and I can put maximum of date as end date, and we need is count, like we need how many days are there in between. Okay, so I'm just putting count of 1 as number of, let's say number of days, comma, and what we need is the discount, so we are putting discount, and also we need the revenue column, right? So total revenue for that period, for that period basically. So there will be a revenue of 50, and in this case there will be a revenue of 30. So in that case the revenue will be 30 because I have taken all the values same here, so you'll be getting mostly the same. I mean, if you were taking a sum of this, it will be created if you're taking a sum function here. So sum of revenue as revenue, okay, from, so prepare data. Okay, I'm using an analyze name that is not required here. um, and group by item. And what are the group by columns? We have item. We need the difference column also, obviously. We need the discount also. So 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 this will form a group. These three columns will form a group, and within this group we are creating the minimum date, maximum date, number of days in between, and the sum of revenue. So if you can see, for this difference zero, right, for this difference zero, for that item and for that discount, we can get the minimum start date and maximum start date, and we'll get the sum of revenue for that group also. For difference 5 and discount 0.3, we'll be getting the minimum date and maximum date. So if we run this, so we'll be getting the exact answer for that, right? Now this is our answer. Now we can maybe we can sort the data based on the start date column. So you can, I'm putting order by, you know minimum of date, so that will sort the data based on the date. Yep. So in that way, so for the first case, there will be 5 days where the discount is null and the revenue is 50. For the second case, there will be 3 days in between and the start date is 06 and 08. 6th of November and 8th of November, and the discount is 0.3, the revenue is 30. So in that way you can generate the data. Simple, right? So so this is the query that we constructed. So feel free to solve this question. This is a very interesting question, and try and let me know how you feel. So till then, so this is the thing, and we can come again for a new SQL video, and I will just try to create another SQL video for the next day, and I'll post it. Till then, please like the video and subscribe my channel. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.